Too many e-commerce brands are leaving money on the table simply because they are chasing the highest possible ROAS. And in this video, I'm going to explain you how you can grow your brand with more profit. My name is Sam, I'm the owner of Advanced Media. We are a digital marketing agency and we help our clients, e-commerce brands, to really grow, acquiring new customers with profit so their brand can grow in the most consistent and profitable way. In the past 4 years, we have generated more than 75 million euros in sales for our clients combined. And we use platforms such as Meta, Pinterest, TikTok, and Google Ads doing this. And to actually showcase you that I know what I'm talking about, I've pulled up a report. This is a report on Facebook ads. This is the platform we use the most for our clients. So about 70% of our clients is purely focused on Facebook ads. And what you can see here yesterday, we'll also refresh this. You can see that we have spent 22K and generated 61K in revenue. I'm going to be totally honest, I don't know why I'm pulling this up because this is a really bad day for us. On average, we are getting a 4 to 5 ROAS, and you can see here that we only got a 2.8 ROAS yesterday. But yeah, I'm being fully transparent, and that's what I want to do with this channel. So to give you maybe some more perspective and showcase you what we do, you can see that we have spent in the last 30 days 622K and generated 2.8 million euros in sales. To be honest, August is a really bad month for most of our clients. Most of our clients are based in Europe and selling their products in Europe. And if you know, August is peak summer. So yeah, people are not really in the market to buy stuff. So now what we are going to do is we are going to discuss the biggest issues and how you can calculate your profit margin and how you can use that in order to scale your brand and your advertising with more profit. So the biggest issue is that when I'm talking to e-commerce brands, they simply don't know what their numbers are. If you are not sure or if you don't exactly know what your break-even ROAS is, you have to watch this video, because how do you know when to scale up or down if you don't know what your numbers are? That's important thing number one. Then why you shouldn't just set a random target. I see so many e-commerce brands just setting random targets. They roughly know what their break-even margin is or their break-even ROAS is. For example, it's a 2 and they suddenly want a 5 ROAS out of the blue. And they also don't have an understanding why they want that. And I see too many people obsessing over the highest possible ROAS. And in a minute, I'm about to show you how you can actually grow your brand with more profit. Using just simple tools to calculate this. But first off, we have to calculate the gross profit margin. And you only want to include costs that are directly related to an order, such as shipping costs, purchasing costs, packaging, payment provider fees, etc. You don't want to include your car, your office, or your staff, because these are overhead costs and are not directly tied to individual sales. So how can we actually do this? We use this calculator. So what you want to do is you want to fill in your average order value. You can simply pull up Shopify, look at the last year or the last 90 days, for example, and see what your average order value is. If it's including VAT, please fill it in here or deduct it already. But you can see here that this is the revenue including VAT. So you want to exclude the VAT. So in the Netherlands it's 21%. So I've mentioned it here. You can see the calculation. And you also want to deduct the returns, because if you don't do this, and I see a lot of people making this mistake, you are coming to a nasty surprise at the end of the month. So deduct the returns, deduct the VAT, then you're left with the revenue minus returns and minus VAT. And then you also want to deduct the shipping cost, your purchasing cost, and your remaining costs such as packaging, payment, provider fees, etc. Now you've done this and you fill this in. This is really easy to fill in. You know what you pay for shipping, just pick an average. You also know what your purchasing costs are and you roughly know what your remaining costs are. Now, in this example, you see that we have a 42% gross profit margin. So this has been calculated automatically. If you have a 42% profit margin, you can now calculate your break-even ROAS or your break-even CPA. So if we have 42% in profit margin, you can see that we have a 2.38 ROAS we need to hit. And this is really important because this gives you a clear understanding when to scale or when to downscale. If we have the average order value of $100 or euros, you can see that we can spend a maximum of $42 or euros on ads in order to break even. So now we know this, we can actually calculate the profit that comes out of the ads. So clearly understand what your return on investment is. This is really important for you to know if you can maybe adjust the strategy in your ads in order to grow more and make more profit for your e-commerce brand. So we do this by using another calculator. And what I've done here, I've just filled in some random numbers. So if we spend 10K, get a 4 ROAS, we have 40K in revenue. If we have a 50% margin, that means that we have 50% costs. You can see that here. So the cost of goods sold is calculated automatically. So when we have 25%, you see that the cost goes up because we have a less percentage of profit. So if we keep it at 50%, you can see that we have $20,000 in cost of goods sold. We have a revenue of 40K and we have an ad spend of 10K. So you have to sum these two up and you get a total client investment of 30K. We got a revenue of 40K. So that means we have a profit of 10K. Now, you also want to include your agency cost as well. For example, if it's 2K, you can see that the return goes down. You always want to include this if you are working with an agency because you have these costs, and if you did it yourself, you didn't have it. So you also want to include those costs as well. And you can also see that the break-even ROAS plus the service fee you pay for the agency goes up as well. So this is a really important one. So now you know that you have made 10K in profit from your ads. And this is really important because this gives you a clear understanding about how much profit got out of your advertising, but it also gives you more perspective. And that leads to point 3, step 3, set your goals. So different companies have different goals. Review all aspects of your business and determine your specific objectives. What I mean by this is that if you have a business with a lot of returning customers, you maybe want to spend more on the front end because you know people are coming back and buying again and again and again. But if you have a product that only sells to people once every 10 years, for example, a bike or a bed, and you don't sell any other products, you cannot do that because people are not coming back. So you really want to be making sure you know every aspect of your business and determine your goals from there. So some of our clients say hey, we can spend a lot more, maybe make a little loss on the front end because we know we can make it back in the long term. And they are really focusing on growth and slightly less on profit. Some brands are really want to focus on profit first. So we need to calculate that and adjust our strategy to that. So make sure you really know what your business objective is and adjust your strategy from there. And if you want to know how we do that and how we work with our brands, click the link below. I have made a video on how our strategy actually works and how we apply this in order to scale brands with profit and really grow their business. You can also download these calculators and you want to wait to the end because I have a little surprise for you as well. So now you know this. You can also play with the ad spend ROAS for more profit/growth. Because what I said earlier is people are obsessing over ROAS. You want the highest possible ROAS, but it's not always the best case. And that's what I am about to show you in a minute. So don't obsess over ROAS. Don't chase a bigger ROAS, chase more return/profit. So you can see that here. If we spend 10K in this example, get a 4 ROAS, you can see that we have 10K in profit, like the example I showed you earlier. If we are now spending 20K, but not hitting the 4 ROAS, but for example, a 3.2 ROAS, you can see that we have a lot more revenue here. So that also means that we have grown a lot in new customers. And you can also see that our profit has gone up as well. So not 10K, but 12K. It's not that much. It's only 2K. But you have to understand that you are now really growing your business. So yeah, you are maybe not getting a lot more profit from all the input you are investing, but you are investing in your brand. So this will pay off in the long term. And you are not making 10K, you are making 12K, and you are also growing in new customers. So you are growing and making more profit. So this is actually something you want to think about, because we have a 3.2 ROAS, but we are spending a lot more. So this is why you don't want to focus on ROAS. And this really brings everything in perspective, and you can just play around with this yourself. So maybe some months you can see that you want to focus on profit a little bit more. You can spend sometimes a little bit less, or simply spend a little bit more. So you really have to find this out for yourself. So you can download these calculators in the link below and see how you can do this yourself and play around with this. And if you want any more information, just click the link below, because we also can help you with this. So there's more explanation about how we do this and how we use this for the clients we work with. So now you know this and can play around with this. You actually know how you can scale your brand. So maybe you didn't know this in the past, but now you know, and now you can actually see how you can expand your business on the paid advertising side of things. Now, I have to mention that if you are growing, you are maybe experiencing some higher returns, for example, and that leaves me with the tip I got here, is you want to recalculate the profit margin as you scale, as they may change due to lower cost. That can also happen. Like if you are bringing in a lot more revenue and if you are selling a lot more items, you maybe can get like better deals with your supplier. So your cost goes down and your profit margin goes up. But if you are attracting a lot more customers and you're, for example, in the fashion niche, these new customers may be not familiar with your sizing and you get more returns than you have before. So you want to recalculate this when you are growing your business. So we do this depending on the client every 3 months, or maybe once a month, or maybe every 6 months. It's a little bit different per client, but make sure you recalculate this when you are really scaling up, because you don't want to come to any nasty surprise. That's what we have noticed with our clients. They were scaling up and the business was not profitable again. And that's because they didn't supply these rules I just explained. So if you want more information, click the link below. Hopefully I see you in a new video, and ciao, ciao.